Nah, I mean, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Melanated Tarzan coming at you again with another video. This one's not about astrology. This one's about some life shit. And the video is gonna be called "Less is More." And you're gonna be like, "What do you mean less is more?" Less is more. We've got this whole thing mixed up where we think the more that we have is the more that we have, when really the less that we have is the more that we have. And what I mean by that is, what happens when you have a balloon and you fill it up with air? It expands, right? What if you put too much air in it? Boom, it pops, right? That's not good. That's too much air, so that's more. If you had less air in it, it'd contract and it'd get smaller, right? And there wouldn't be any room for it to pop or explode. It leaves more room for it to fill up with more air. If you don't get that, let me use another example. Obesity is a big problem in the United States. People like to put more food into their mouth. What happens to eat more and more food? You get bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually that becomes a problem because you're not capable of doing things. Your body starts having problems. Your body starts breaking down. And that's a big problem, obviously. So less eating would also be better for you if you just ate less. So that's what I mean when I say less is more. We've got this whole thing backwards where we think good is bad and bad is good. Or where we think good is good and bad is bad, when really it's the opposite, where some bad can be good and some good can be bad. It's it's a it's a tricky thing. It's kind of deep if you really think about it, because in the way I'm talking about, let's just use money. Money. People that have more money, they think they have more life in general. Like they think that they can have more, or people that have less think that the people with more money have more of what they don't have. When really a person with less money can have more life or more happiness than a person that has a lot of money. Like you can have someone that has all the money in the world, but it can't buy them happiness. It can buy them things that can make them happy for a short amount of time, but at the same time, it's not gonna keep them happy. A person that it doesn't leave them any room to keep receiving things. They're gonna keep receiving, but it's never gonna bring happiness to that person. A person that has less money, you need to be in a balance. A person that has less money, that has no money, can also be happier than a person that has all the money in the world. But really, they need to be right in the middle, to where you have the money, but then you don't keep it. You keep recycling it like if it was energy. If you have money, give to people that don't have money. If you have more food, give to people that don't have food. That way, you have more room to receive what you need to receive. It's a give and receive game. That's how life works. Less is more, in a way. Not too little, but not too much. Now think about that. What would be too much? Someone that has too much money will look at the poor people and they'll spit on them. Not literally spit on them, but in a way say that they need to do more in order to get the money. When really, who says that we need to even do more to get money? Who says we even need to have money be a part of our system in society? What is money? We know that money is made out of trees and cotton. Cotton comes from the ground, comes from the earth. So we're taking from the source of the life and putting it into a paper and making the paper the currency. We're making it, you're working for the paper, really. So the paper is not life, the paper is not living, it's just paper. And we're working, we're killing, we're doing all this for paper. We're selling our souls for this paper. We're treating people like shit for this paper. People will do anything for this paper, and it's really nothing. It's just something that the higher ups gave us in order for us to have quarrels and argue over shit like that. We don't, having less of it will be more. And if you do receive, give. It's just as simple as that. That way you still have room in order to give to other people. Like I'll use a food analogy again. When you eat and you keep eating, and you can't feel anything else in your stomach, you should probably go to the restroom to poop it out. That way you can eat more. That's in the way I mean. Like you'll see people inside of a restaurant, a Chinese fast food buffet or whatever, and they'll be eating and eating, and they'll sit in there for hours, and then they'll go to the restroom, go use the restroom, probably like what, good 10 minutes, and they come out, they start eating some more, and you wonder how that happens. But they'll eat and they'll eat and they'll eat until they can't eat anymore, and then they'll go poop it out. That way they can receive more food. They'll use that in the same way with money, because money is just energy, the same way as food is energy. You can eat, or you can receive, and you can receive. But as you receive, you also need to give back. Not saying that you just need to give the money that you get. Keep some of the money for yourself to do what you need to do with it. Pay your bills if you have bills, buy the food that you need. But all that extra money that you might be spending on nothing that you don't need to spend it on, you can give to people that don't have money or have less than you. That'll leave you more room to receive what you need to receive. And that can also leave room for blessings to come in too. So like I say, leave room for yourself to receive blessings. Don't don't restrict yourself from receiving anything. I don't want to say blessings because when I use words, I like to break the words down. Blessed, be less. You're being less than what you are. Be less. That's when you're saying you're blessed. It can turn out to be being less than what you really are. So in a way, I'd like to say, I'm more. That's where the more is kind of right. I'm more. That's what I would say. Like instead of I'm blessed, I'm more. I'm more. It doesn't sound right to you, but to me, that's how I'd rather say it than rather than being blessed. Because I don't want to be less than what I am. I'd rather be more. Oh, so be more would be another way to say it too. But like I was saying, just also always leave room for you to receive your energies and receive your be mores. It doesn't sound right like that, but I mean it's the English language and it's just trickery. It's always magic to the words. But you always wanna keep yourself at a middle ground where you're not receiving too much, but you're also not giving too much. Because if you give too much, you can have nothing for yourself. But that also leaves room for you to receive more. But sometimes you can give too much in the abundance where it's just like you leave yourself empty-handed. You always gotta think of yourself in a way, not think of yourself like just purely think about yourself, but you gotta also remember that you have things you need to get done too. Now, if you're in a situation where you don't even need money, man, that's that's great. If you don't need money, if you're out there living off the land like we should be doing, that's what I encourage you to do. That way you can be more. That way you can be more. You can always give and receive. You can always go out there and um, plant your fruits or vegetables or whatever you have to do to, give back to the life that gave you everything you have, the breath that you take. All the air that you breathe, like everything that you have, is from the life. It's from the energy that we breathe. And other people would like to call it God. I don't want to put a name to it. I don't want to put a name to what is everything, what is all. You know what I mean? Because how are you going to put a name to something that is everything, that is everywhere? It's just energy. Like when people say, "Yeah, God's right next to me," it's not God. It's a force. It's a force that balances us through all the earth, and it works with balance. So you see people working in this lifetime, and they're getting more. They're always receiving, receiving. It's not going to be good for them the next time lifetime they come through, because they can come back and they can come back being poorer than ever. They can come back being the poor. They can be one of them kids in Haiti that don't have anything. Like let's say someone like, I don't even want to use Donald Trump because everyone's using Donald Trump for everything. I mean, people was hating on Donald Trump now because he's the president. But before, people didn't have shit to say about him. Like he was making money, people was liking him. But now everybody's got something to say about him because he's up top and he's the president. But really, I mean, I don't even let's just say Donald Trump. Let's just say he's one that abuses his money power or whatever. If he doesn't balance himself through his next lifetime, when he comes back, he could be the poorest person in the world. It could turn out like that. It's really, you never know. Well, I mean, you do know in your own life, because whenever you pass and your energy passes, you will be judging yourself. And whenever I say that, like you'll there'll be a figure in front of you, and you'll think that will be God, but this is really you judging yourself, seeing how your life went, because you know everything about you. You know everything about yourself. So what I mean is just be more than you can. Don't be less, but also keep it balanced. You don't want to overindulge in the life. You don't want to overindulge in money and anything like that. You don't want to. You want to keep it balanced. You want to keep energy flowing. Always got to be moving. Energy cannot flow if it's not enough something that's moving. Like energy probably doesn't flow through most of y'all's body because it's corrupted with all these meats and unhealthy, like it's an unhealthy environment. Like the inside of your body is like hell if you're not eating correctly. And I mean that's all I can give to you. You know, it's your boy Melanated Tarzan. Stay safe.